Hey, what is up YouTube? And just recently in the past couple of days, Apple has made it official. This year's iPhone 8 event will be on September 12th. And this year, for the first time ever, the event will be held at the recently constructed Steve Jobs Theater. So in today's video, we're just going to quickly recap exactly what is speculated to be released at said event. Later in this video, I'm going to talk about iOS 11 Beta 10, as well as what is likely to be released before the event. It's exciting time for Apple releases, guys, so stay tuned and you will be fully updated on what is coming out. So just a few days ago, like I said, on August 31st, Apple made it official. The event date is on September 12th this year at 10 a.m. So what's going to be released at this event? Along the lines of hardware, this is speculated to be the event that Apple unveils the next generation iPhones. Now at the time, we're not exactly sure if they're going to come out with an iPhone 8 or if they're going to call it something else like the iPhone Pro or something along those lines. As far as rumors go, it sounds like there's going to be a few versions of iPhones being released, where first, like many are expecting, are going to have an iPhone 8 or Pro or X model or something along those lines that's a premium iPhone model that's going to have a few extra features than just the basic one. This is the model that we're expecting to have a fully redesigned body and incorporate premium features like an edge-to-edge display, wireless charging, and a vertical dual lens camera. And the crazy thing, guys, this new edge-to-edge display is supposed to be a massive 5.8 inches. With the new display incorporating the entirety of the front of the screen, we're expecting the iPhone 8 to be gesture-based, meaning instead of adding a virtual home button or an on-screen home button, the home button is going to be eliminated in its entirety. Other rumors have suggested that Apple is also moving away from the aluminum body and is adopting a glass body that is similar to what we saw in the iPhone 4 models. Lastly, it is unclear at the time if Apple is going to incorporate a fingerprint scanner at all with this device, or if it's going to be unlocked entirely by facial recognition software. As far as internals, it would not be surprising if Apple unveiled that the new iPhone 8 has a new A11 chip, as well as more RAM inside the device. And as far as being waterproof, guys, it's likely that the new iPhone 8 will not be waterproof, but will in fact just have an improved water-resistant rating. Now, just as a fair warning, rumors have been all over the place this year. There have been countless iPhone 8 dummy models that have come out that just run poorly, and I really hope the iPhone 8 looks and runs nothing like them. But again, what I'm reporting to you guys is what I believe is most likely to be true. But the most noteworthy rumor that we can confirm for sure is that the iPhone 8 will feature a new edge-to-edge display with the elimination of the home button. This was confirmed for us in late July when Apple seeded the first iteration of HomePod OS. When Apple released the firmware, developers discovered this image within the code, and this image heavily resembles the design schematics leaked of the iPhone 8. The rumored price of this premium iPhone's base model is suggested to begin at $999. But like I said, guys, this is not the only iPhone model that Apple is expected to unveil. Along with the iPhone 8, they're expected to do a refresh of their current iPhone 7 models that incorporates just a faster processor, more RAM, or something along the lines of that, but just internal improvements, but will have the same body as the current iPhone 7. Not surprisingly, the rumor is that this device is going to be called the 7S. And the starting price points for these devices will be the same as the current models, $649 for the 4.7-inch model and $769 for the Plus version. These models again will not incorporate some of the premium features like the OLED display or wireless charging, and is expected to only be available in a limited number of colors. So that's just a quick summary of some of the details and rumors surrounding the iPhone 8 and its big unveil. But again, like I said, that's not the only thing we're expecting to be unveiled at this Apple event. The two other big products we're expecting to see are a 3rd generation Apple Watch as well as a 4K Apple TV. Now, the new generation of the Apple Watch is expected to incorporate the same body as the previous versions, but is rumored to incorporate LTE connectivity. So that will be pretty nice. You won't have to have your iPhone with you all the time in order to receive notifications. This feature will just give the Apple Watch a whole new level of portability and usability. I could also see this being very useful when you're on runs or working out. If you want to stream music, you won't have to have your phone on you. Anyway, moving on, it's also looking like Apple is going to unveil a 4K Apple TV at this event. Along with the resolution update, it's looking like the Apple TV will have HDR capabilities as well, so if you guys have a new TV that has these features, you will be able to utilize them. But of course, with the new iPhone coming out, we'll not only see a new device, but a new operating system for it. This will be the event that Apple releases iOS 11 to the public. iOS 11, as many of you know, adds a ton of new features to the iPhone as well as a massive update to the iPad. As for the iPhone, iOS 11 adds many subtle changes to the OS, making it perform and look absolutely stunning, guys. But most notably, the iPhone is receiving an all-new redesigned control center that is customizable. And like I said, with the new iPhone coming out, it's looking like the user interface and the way we use the device will be entirely gesture-based. And we'll see the new iPhone receive a lot of the features that the iPads have received with this update. And that's a great thing because the most substantial changes within iOS from 10 to 11 reside on the iPad. The iPad's receiving a persistent dock at the bottom of your display, making it very easily to switch between apps, and we're also receiving a new app switcher. One of my favorite new features is the native drag and drop between multiple applications. For both the iPad and the iPhone, we're receiving a new app called Files. Now this unfortunately isn't as in-depth as iFile if you're jailbroken, but it at least lets you see PDF and other iCloud documents across multiple devices. Anyway guys, I plan to go much more in depth once Apple has officially released iOS 11 to the public, so stay tuned. I plan to do a bunch of videos on this, as it will be a massive update for everyone that owns an iDevice. Along the same lines, Apple will be unveiling and releasing to the public macOS High Sierra for their computer lineup. This update doesn't add too many new outward-facing changes, but it does add a lot of under-the-hood improvements. With this update, we'll be receiving Apple's filing system for macOS, which will let you copy and paste duplicate files immediately onto the same drive. What I'm most excited for is Apple will be adding native support for high-efficiency video coding, also known as H.265. This new compression method will compress files up to 40% more than H.264 and will play and stream more fluidly on your Mac. Lastly, Apple will be adding more native support for graphics acceleration with Metal 2. This will not only help with game development, but should improve apps like Final Cut Pro and just all across the board improve the graphics performance across your Mac. And of course, lastly, we will see watchOS 4 released, as well as tvOS 11. 3 new faces are being added to watchOS. The new Kaleidoscope, Siri, and Toy Story faces will be available once watchOS 4 is released to the public. The update also incorporates an improved workout app and various UI tweaks all throughout the OS. And as far as tvOS goes, we'll be receiving features like home screen sync, as well as automatic dark and light modes. The new OS will also feature full AirPod support, as well as AirPlay 2. And the very last thing as far as software goes, Apple will also be implementing a big upgrade to Swift Playgrounds, as they will be releasing Swift Playgrounds 2. And so that is it, guys. That is everything that is speculated to be released as far as hardware and software goes. Now it's likely we will receive a few updates on a couple products, such as the HomePod and iMac Pro. Now both of these products aren't going to be available until this December, when Apple officially unveils them and releases them to the public. Thus, it would not surprise me if we got another teaser or more information regarding either of these products. This event will be held at Apple's brand new Steve Jobs Auditorium at the Apple campus. Now, this venue has 1,000 seats, which is considerably less than the 7,000-seat Bill Graham Civic Auditorium, which hosted the iPhone 7 launch. So it's looking like this event is going to be even more exclusive than Apple events have been in the past. But I will say I am impressed, however, that Apple has finished construction on this building just in time for this event. For a while there, it wasn't looking like that was going to be true, and it was all just rumor that Apple was going to be having the event here, but that is something that we can confirm. I have to say I'm very excited to see what this building looks like when it is finished. It looks absolutely amazing so far, and I'm guessing it won't entirely be done as far as landscaping and stuff like that for the event, but it is a great addition to the Apple campus, and it is looking absolutely incredible, guys. So anyway, again, the date of this Apple event is on September 12th, so stay tuned, guys. I'll be covering the entirety of this event and all the details surrounding it. If the scheduling goes anything like last year, it's looking like the pre-orders will go on sale on September 15th, and the official release date for the next generation iPhone will be on the 22nd of September. And lastly, before I go, guys, I just want to give a quick update on iOS 11 Beta 10, which was released yesterday at 10 a.m. It's amazing that we are still receiving betas, as this is the most amount of betas we have ever received for any iOS version in the past. And from the looks of the build number, it's looking like this may not be our last beta for iOS 11. Real quickly, the build number for this beta is 15A5372A. Now that is a substantially long beta build number for a final GM version, so it is looking like we are going to receive a final GM Golden Master version either before the Apple event or on the day of the Apple event. If the final Golden Master version came out on the day of the Apple event, that would coincide very nicely with it, as well as the scheduling. Apple would most likely then release the final version to the public on September 15th, which is also the speculated pre-order date of the next generation iPhone. For the past 5 years or so, Apple's main iPhone events have followed roughly the same formula. The event is typically within the first week or two of September, pre-orders shortly follow, and then the iPhone's official launch date is 10 days after the scheduled event. As far as Beta 10, however, this update was rather minor, and shows really no outward-facing changes, suggesting that it's entirely under-the-hood improvements and performance updates within the OS. I will say after using it for a few hours, the OS feels much more polished and is a lot faster. Anyway, like I said, that's a brief overview of iOS 11 Beta 10. If you guys want to learn how to install this, go ahead and check out any of my previous iOS 11 beta installation videos, as the installation process is exactly the same for every beta. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and again, stay tuned as I will be covering the entirety of the Apple event and all the details surrounding it. So get ready, guys. There'll be a bunch of new videos coming out relating to the next generation iPhone, as well as the 3rd generation Apple Watch, as well as the 4K Apple TV. But not only are we receiving new hardware, we're receiving new software to go along with all of these devices. So again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out to stay fully updated with all the upcoming releases of new hardware and new software released by Apple. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope I gave you some good insight on what to expect on this year's big iPhone Apple event. Let me know down in the comments section what device you guys are most excited for, and if you will be getting the next generation iPhone or not. Anyway, guys, like I said, I think that pretty much wraps up everything for this week's video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Tony, signing out.